Hi guys, it's K14 with K14's Cash Coaching. I am here tonight with Barbie Lindsey, our realtor expert. She's going to be answering questions that you guys have regarding house buying, looking in the area, what to look for when you're buying your next house or a investment property, whatever you need, we are here. I'm also going to be asking her questions as we go just to keep it going. So one thing I want to let you guys know is if you join my email list, it's right there, then you can get the secrets that I released last night regarding my business and the growth that's been happening. Super exciting. Can't tell you because it's a secret, so I guess you're not going to know. Anyways, okay, Barbie, so how long have you been a realtor?
I'm in my 14th year. Wow. So, yep, I'll be going to my 15th year, and I'm a full-time real estate agent.
Oh,
and,
wow.
Yep, I work for Remax, of course. I'm a Remax, so.
And have you only been an Arizona realtor, or are you, is it like a national certification, or is it just state by state?
Just state by state.
Okay.
And I've only been licensed here in Arizona.
Okay.
So,
well, that's where you live, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
And what made you want to be a realtor when you were a kid? Were you just like, oh my God, this house is so gorgeous, I'm going to sell these when I grow up? Like, how did that happen?
Well, no, actually, well, what I guess about me, what lots of people don't know is I actually grew up in a hotel my entire life.
Okay.
So I graduated high school, I lived at a hotel. So I was always envious of my friends who had homes where they had like a house, a bedroom and a living room and all that. I lived behind the front desk, so it's kind of a little bitty apartment style thing. So I just always loved houses and architecture. And then I just decided when my son was going into kindergarten, I was working nights at Walmart in the accounting department, and it was really hard on me. So I thought, if I get into real estate, I can set my own hours, be my own boss, not feel guilty if my kids are sick and I can't be with them, or, spend time with them and then miss work and, feel guilty there. So I just was actually going to start it as a part-time thing to make extra money. And it quickly turned into a full-time passion and career for me.
Yeah, definitely. So a little background, Barbie and I met awkwardly during my divorce, and it was super awkward for her because it was not a mutual divorce, it was one-sided. So just to see the stress and the turmoil of that situation for myself and my ex, and she was so graceful and patient and just understanding and was able to explain everything, led us to refer her obviously to everyone we know. But my grandma bought houses from her, my sisters, and this is our second house from you, because we bought the last one with you, sort of, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
And then this one too. So needless to say,
sell a purchase, a sell a purchase.
Needless to say, we're lifers.
And I feel like part of the family,
right?
So.
Yeah, like she goes to the baby showers, the birthday parties. She has the same birthday as my daughter. My other daughter has the same birthday as her dad.
Yep. And I think there's someone else in your family that has, I think with my son, July 22nd. No?
Nope. Keep going.
There was another one. August 29th.
Nope.
October 17th.
Nan.
Yes.
That's Nan's birthday.
My husband, Brandy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
I knew there was like three.
I know there. Yep. Yeah, three's a charm. I got this. So, okay, another question. So how many houses do you sell like a year, in a month? Or, I mean, you said you're full-time, but what does that look like for my followers to see? Oh, does she know what she's doing? Obviously she's.
So I personally sell anywhere from 20 to 40 homes a year, depending on the year. And then my team, if we combine all the sales together with my buyer's agent, we sell anywhere from 40 to 60 homes a year.
Okay.
So just depends on the year and, how people are doing in the economy, all that plays a factor. But no, we do a lot of transactions. Typically, I do probably no less than 5 a month.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And how many people are on a team normally? Or
well, there's all kinds of teams. I don't want a big team. I just want a small team that I can take care of my clientele with, because I do get a lot of referrals. And so, a few years back, I found myself getting so many referrals, I wasn't keeping up with everybody. And, I felt guilty because, they're contacting me for a reason, and I don't want them to think I'm a slacker or anything like that. I was just too busy to kind of keep up.
Which is good for you,
yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, it is good. It is good. But no, I have a full-time buyer's agent. My daughter just got her license, so she's going to be coming on as a full-time agent. I have a transaction coordinator who helps me process all the paperwork, make sure that everything is in a timely manner, and we're meeting deadlines we need to meet. And I have a full-time assistant. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's a real team.
Yeah, but I'm looking to hopefully within the next year hire on 2 more buyer's agents to help.
Is Brian still on your team?
He is.
Oh,
he's doing fabulous. He's doing
Brian.
good. Yeah.
Oh, Brian.
Yeah. He closed, I think,
he's the sweetest.
6 last month. So he did fantastic.
Wow.
He did really good. Yeah, super proud of Brian.
That's awesome. Okay, so this is a very difficult and loaded question, but what are some of the first steps someone can do to be ready to even approach you and buy a house? Like, what ducks do they have to have in a row to even come to the table and say, hey, I'm ready to buy?
Well, I think the big thing is the credit. So they need to know what their credit score is, what's on their credit, make sure there's no delinquents. I mean, for a year, you can't have anything late for a full 12 months at all. So that's the first place they need to start, is to see where they're at on their credit, if they can get that credit score up, because of course, the higher the credit score, the better the interest rate. So, and a couple things to really take note of. If you have any student loans, about 2 years ago, the federal government came in and said, okay, student loans now count. Wow. So they count towards your DTI, they count towards all of that.
Woo.
Yep. So most people don't know that. So don't default on your student loans. Be sure you're paying those. Keep in good standings with those, because they do now count and they're a big part of your credit.
Yes. So some people have lots and lots of student loan debt.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's in not default, if it's in deferment, does that count against them, even though they're not paying on it? Okay.
Well, it depends. Depends on when they're going to come out of that deferment. If it's like within 30 days, 90 days, yes, that lender will most likely count that then, because they'll get in their house 90 days and then boom, they've got a payment.
Yep.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So it
depends. Right. Yeah. If it's a couple years still out, a lender may not count that. So
because from the lender's perspective, they don't want you to get a brand new house and now you're having to pay all those student loans back.
Correct.
It's a big
you
risk.
can afford it now, but in 4 months, when that payment starts coming due again, you may not be able to afford it. So
stressful.
Yeah.
You kind of already answered this, but what does your ideal client look like and have done? Obviously the credit is going to be great, but
the credit, a steady job, you want to at least be on the same job or the same, career for 2 years. It's hard for us to try to get someone qualified that is about 6 months here, 6 months there, from fast food industry to retail industry, something like that. So the longer you stay on your job, the better. Have the credit, savings, have some savings saved up. It takes 3%, 3.5% for an FHA loan is the down payment. So you want to have that saved up. And then you also want to have your closing costs, just in case we can't get that seller to pay for your closing costs, have a little bit padded for that as well.
Yes, I like that. And even with the padding situation, I feel like, what if they do get in the house and the water heater goes out or something like that? They need to also have a little cushion for
emergencies.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah. And we typically like to see, and a lender will like to see at least 3 months reserve of your income. So whatever you make a month, they like to see that times 3 in a savings account. That helps a lot if you can afford to do that. So yeah.
Especially for that 3% down payment, because even on a $200,000 house, you're still looking at $8,000 something.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of money.
One of them. So Sean's asking, what if you work for yourself, a 1099 versus W-9s?
Right. On a 1099, you need to have 2 years of your tax returns. And I know a lot of people that are self-employed try to write off everything that they can because they don't want to pay taxes. I get that. I'm also a 1099. But for home buying purposes, you need to just kind of be honest and just, how do I put this? Like show that you have expenses, but that you're also making an income. Because I had one a couple years ago that was a roofer and owns his own company, and he showed like hardly any income at all. because he wrote everything off
Mm-hmm.
and he couldn't qualify for a house. So you have to balance that and make sure that you do show yourself as an income, at least enough to qualify for the home that you want to purchase.
I like that example because I had the same situation. I worked at Texas Roadhouse, and one of the servers came in crying from starting her shift, and I was like, "What's going on? What happened?" I thought someone, was hurt or something.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, "Well, we just tried to apply for the house, and they denied us because I didn't claim all my tips."
Right.
And I'm like, "Oh no!"
Yeah.
So ever since then, it's always been like, "Oh, you don't want to claim them because you don't want to pay on them, but
Right.
it's
Right.
a double-edged sword when
It is,
trying to get."
So my
credit.
advice is, if you know you're going to be purchasing a home at least that year, or for at least 2 years, try to give yourself or show yourself a little bit more income once you purchase your house, and you can kind of go back to claiming everything.
Ooh.
Can you buy a house without a down payment? Nicole wants to know. You can. There are some first-time home buyer programs that are grant programs out there that kind of, will give you your down payment, kind of tack it on the back of the loan, or give it to you as a grant. You have to stay in the house so many years for it to kind of wash away. But there are those programs, and those are lender specific. Some lenders offer them, some lenders do not.
Oh, that's what I was going to ask. How would they look into this? Just Googling, first-time home buyer down payment assistant, or to find a lender?
They can, yep. Or just reach out to me. They can, contact me through my Desert Showcase business page on Facebook. Just message me. And I have a couple lenders that I know that offer the program. And also, the program doesn't last very long because the government only issues so much allotted money, and then it goes quick. So when that money's gone, then the program's gone until they, issue more money to it. So that's why people get confused, because 1 second it's available, and then 3 months down the road it's not. That's because all the money gets spent quick. So,
which makes sense, because if someone's in a position to utilize that program, they're already ready and setting up for it.
Yes.
So they're going to grab it while it's available.
Yeah, and you got to be under contract and have your contract to the lender so he can submit it to get your money, to get those grants.
Got to be quick.
Got to be quick.
Ishan's asking, can you use multiple down payer assistance programs?
Not that I'm aware of. I've not come across that, those types of programs at all. So usually it's just one program, that'll give you your down payment assistance. Can't use multiple.
So maybe just do the research and find the one that gives you the most bang for your buck.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. Next question. So how much commission does a realtor charge? Is it off of the home price? Like if the house is $200,000, do you do a percentage off of that, or is it off of just the loan, or how does it work?
For a buyer, we don't charge a buyer any commission.
Okay.
So a buyer's agent doesn't basically work for you for free, but you don't pay for them. The seller pays the commission. So but again, that's why it's important to have a buyer's agent to be representing you. Even though you're not paying for them, they're still getting paid. We're still getting paid from the seller, and we're there to represent you and put your best interests, first, and have our fiduciary duty with you, the buyer.
Yeah, she went with me, if you watch my last video from last week, I talked about my home journeys. And the last one was crazy because of the funding, and she had to do all this research because it was a program that's not well known, where I got the house for half off, 50% off, and she was able to explain it to us and look into it, and she had never even heard of it. So that was awesome. And then even this one was a new build, and so she had to help us decide, okay, do we need this extra room? And she had to give us mental picturing if it's even needed and things like that. So she was a big help. So
that, and speaking of new builds, it is important to be represented, because most people are under the impression or think that when you step into that new build office that those agents are there for you. They are not. They work for that new build, they work for that seller, and their fiduciary duty is with them. So the more money they can get you to put down, more upgrades they can get you to put, the more money they make and the more money that builder makes. So they're not necessarily there for you. And as a matter of fact, I have one right now. They were from Wisconsin, and they bought a house here 2 years ago. They didn't have an agent. They were flying back and forth during the build process. We now have it listed, went under contract. Our buyer did the home inspection on it, and they found 3 broken trusses in the attic. My sellers had no idea that they'd been there for 2 years. They didn't even know that they could have a home inspection done, a third-party home inspection. They thought they had to do it just with the builder. So it's very important to have a buyer's agent, even on a new build, in your corner.
So regarding that makes me think of something. What's the difference between an appraisal and an inspection? And why should we get one? Basically?
So an appraisal is where the lender is going to send an appraiser out to the property to pull comps, look at the property, and determine a value of the property. Make sure you're not overpaying it. Basically, that the lender is not, lending more money than what it's worth on the property. A home inspection is where you hire a third party, a home inspector, to come out and inspect the property. So he'll be in the attic, do the windows, check the plumbing, the electric. They go through the homes with a fine-tooth comb and find the items that need repair.
She's saying if you go see a new build community without your agent and give your information to the person there, does that cut your agent out of the commission? Go. Because you know where I'm going with this.
Sometimes, yes, it can. I always tell my clients, if you go without an agent, you can always tell them that you're going to be represented by an agent. You can provide our information, but a lot of the home builders will say, your agent has to be with you on your first time. Your agent has to be with you when you walk through to look at these. So then, yes, sometimes that will cut your agent out, and then we can't represent you. We can't look over the documents legally. Yeah. We cannot, because we're not, your agent.
No.
Yeah.
So funny story about that. It's a really great story. Here we go. So Daniel and I, my husband, came to look at these houses, and I put down a fake name because I didn't want her cut out of her commission. So when she came with us and we were pretending like it was our first time because we were legit gonna buy, we were like, oh, we don't know if we're gonna buy yet. And I think you were really busy. You had like so many sales that week or something. You were closing and you had a lot going on. So you're like, I really can't make it. And with his schedule, we got to do what we got to do. So we got to get where we got to get when we have to get. And she wasn't able to. So we went. I was like, babe, we can't put her name. We can't put our real names. So I was Crystal and he was David because that's what we do. Right. And we came back the next day, like, I put my hair down, trying to be in disguise, and it didn't work out. But Sabrina's saying, thank you for all of your hard work to bring us in the knowledge it takes us. I thought she's talking to you. I'm just talking to us both. It takes a selfless and grateful person to build others up around them to be successful too. Much love. Oh, that's cute. Sweet. Wow, so wrong. Yes, Eshawn. Yeah. We were in. Man, I should have wore sunglasses and a hat. Anyways, okay, we're almost done, guys. We're wrapping it up. So if you do need information about how to pay off your debt or build your credit, obviously I'm here. That's what I do. I'm running my own business now, coaching people, helping them build their credit scores and things like that so they can buy a house and stop paying these ridiculous rent prices.
Yes, yes.
That keep going up and won't stop going up, just so you know. Okay, so... Ooh, this is a good one. So what are the average home prices in Arizona/US? Now, I know that's putting you on the spot, so just give me a rough.
That's okay.
Okay.
The US across the nation, they're averaging about $225,000. So here in Arizona, our median home price is about $250,000.
Okay.
Yeah. It's up there. It's getting up there.
That's crazy.
Arizona and Florida markets kind of. The rest of the nation kind of watch us because we are the sun states. We have a lot of retirees that come in. We have more people moving here than any other states in the nation. So it's really important to kind of keep an eye on our median home sales.
You're talking about the snowbirds and the retirees,
yes,
right?
Yes.
The experienced people.
Yes.
That's what we call them now. Experienced. Barbie. Oh. Does rent-to-own programs still exist? If so, is it worth it to do that or just buy the regular way?
There are rent-to-own programs out there, lease with purchase options. I do not recommend them. Too many factors play into those. So if you were to settle on a price today, the market's hot and it's high right now, like prices are kind of being driven up. So let's say you need a year or 2 years to work on your credit, but they're going to lock you into a price now. and prices go down, you're stuck. You can't get out of that. Most people ask for at least 20% down payment on those, and it is non-refundable.
Wow.
So if 2 years you can't qualify, and there's just, so many factors that play into that makes me uncomfortable, and I don't want any of my clients to lose any money for anything. I would just advise you, let's wait, let's do the work for a year or two, get your credit where it needs to be, and then let's get you into a home.
Now, a lot of people, like my conspiracy theorists, are talking about another crash.
Yeah.
Is that just say? Like,
yeah, I don't think there's going to be another crash, and I don't have a crystal ball, so I can't see the future, but I don't think there'll be a crash. I think there'll be some leveling off, because there has been,
there has to be at some point, because it's literally a roller coaster. I'm like,
so, and that's why we have buyer and seller markets, is because of that. Buyers get to a point where they're like, we're not paying a dime more. Like, this is getting insane, out of control, and then the prices start to come back down. So buyers dictate the market. It's all about what a buyer's willing to spend for that property. So I think a lot of factors go into play with the economy crashing again. So if you think about it, the big bubble that burst, 07, 08, when we went through all of that, we had a lot of these loans that the government was issuing. The government said everybody deserves a house, so there's stated income and all of that. We don't have those type of loans no more. So, I don't see, that really played the factor into our economy crashing and, all of that. So I don't see it happening again.
Do you think what are those loans called?
No, interest-only loans?
No, the other ones. Dang it, I talked about not interest-only, adjustable rate. Do you think that was part of it too?
Oh, yes, totally. That was a big part of it, yeah. There are still some adjustable rate programs out there, but they don't sell them like they used to, and so I would advise anybody, stay away from those. Just you want a fixed interest rate, point blank, period.
Good. What is the best score to have to buy a home, Nicole? That is a really great question. The best score would be an 850.
Yes.
That would be a great score.
Yes.
With an epic, amazing interest rate. But I think you mean like what is a good score to have to buy a home?
So I think it's about 640.
Credit score to buy.
Yeah, 640 is what you need to buy. If you can get over that, the better your interest rate's going to be. So in other words, I have a client right now that has a 679 credit score, and it's a difference between a 5.5.
Oh.
And if she was to go up 1 point to a 4.325.
Wow.
Just by 1 point. So we have her waiting right now to get it up. Yeah.
That's thousands and thousands over the course of that loan.
Right. Yes. Yeah. So, the more you can get that credit score up there, the better you are.
It's not scrolling. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so the 640 would be like the lower end of the totem pole. Obviously, the higher, the better rates, what she said. So how can you get a 15-year fix when most programs only do the 30-year fix? Most lenders?
Yeah, no, they offer the 15-year fix as well. So again, I think by cutting it in half, you're going to have that great credit score, the job security. You're going to need all of that in order for them to sell that 15-year loan to you. So again, banks want to make money. So if they can get you to do the 30-year, your payment's lower because they make more money.
Yep.
So if you can afford that payment on a 15-year mortgage, because it does go higher, your monthly payment is extremely higher on a 15-year, then by all means do that, because you're going to save, thousands.
Another option that I'm telling my clients that are in great financial position regarding, refi or whatever, is if their credit has went crazy, but they have the cash and the income to afford to pay it as if it was a 15-year, they still have the 30-year loan as they're building their credit, but they have the cash to pay that extra every month, or they make an extra payment twice a year. Because, for example, we get paid 3 times a month, twice a year. So with that extra check, I could use that and just put it straight to my principal, and it kills like 8 years off your loan. So you're really at 22 years instead of 30. So
yeah, and I highly recommend that too. I think that one right there that Fanny has is a great question. Is it worth to renew your home warranty after the first year? So And I'm going to say that's probably a personal preference. I personally, yes, I renew mine every year. It's kind of like having that car insurance. You may pay for 5 or 10 years every month and not ever use it, but when you need it, it's a saver. So like on those AC units, yeah, water heaters, all of that. So,
flooring, if your water heater
yes,
leaks and
right.
you don't have, well, that would be insurance, not warranty.
Right,
Sorry,
right. That'd be your homeowner's insurance.
I got so excited.
But it's the big ticket item like those AC units because they're expensive. You know, I mean, I have 2 units on my house and I don't have, you know, $5,000 to go drop on a new one. So
exactly.
Where I can pay my home warranty, you know, the year.
For the year.
Yeah.
Yep. It's
And
literally insurance. It's home insurance
yes.
additional to your homeowner's insurance, if that makes sense. Yes.
Right.
Is anyone seeing this? I went. Yes, I did. It was epic and great. CGI is awesome. So Ishan's asking, is there a penalty to pay off early?
Most loans now that they issue do not have a prepayment penalty attached to them at all. So no. Back in the day when they were selling the crazy loans, most of them had the prepayment penalties, but they're not doing that any longer. As a matter of fact, I haven't seen all the homes that I sell, and I'm with my clients at closing, so I know what they're signing. I see everything. I have not seen one come across that says that it's a prepayment penalty. So what's the matter?
I don't know what's happening. Okay. Next is, okay, so I'm going to give you guys a couple more seconds to answer any questions. And while we're waiting, Barbie, where can they reach out to you, find you? Obviously, Facebook. I put the link in the top.
Yeah, or call me, text me. You know, I respond. So
she sure does.
I do, yeah. So I can put my phone number in the things later, or if you want me to, can I give it now?
Yeah.
Okay. So my phone number, if you have a pen and paper, is 623-670-2018.
That's the same number it was 10 years ago, just so you guys know.
I've had that number forever, yes. Yeah.
You would think I know it by heart, but it's all in the phone now, so I don't have to. Her AC is new. That's why I was confused if she needed to renew it for, thanks for the feedback. Perfect.
Right, yeah.
So Facebook, are you on Instagram or anything like that?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm on Instagram, and I think just by my name, Barbie Lindsey. And then I have my Facebook business page. So I am on Snapchat, but I don't know how to work it.
It's fine. It's fine. You just want to do the funny filters, right?
That's right.
There's too many. Okay. All right, guys. Well, that's it for tonight. Thank you, Barbie, so much for coming. I know it's late.
You're welcome.
And you need to go night-night with your baby, adorable granddaughter. Oh,
I know.
Who has a, I'm not going to say her name, but
you can.
Okay, it's the same name.
She has the same name as me.
Her daughter named her baby after her mother, which is the cutest thing I've ever seen.
Thank you.
So yes, if you guys have any more questions, go ahead and reach out to her, and I will be here for any credit or debt payoff questions you have. Hit me on K14's Cash Coaching and my messaging. Thank you.
All right, bye.